After creating our footer, we are going to create the hero section, and the hero section looks like this. So we are going to come back to our project, and then first, before we create the hero section, you can see we have buttons, and if you look carefully, you can see that all the buttons look the same but with different labels or titles on the button. So we are first going to create the buttons first. So in the components folder we created earlier, you're going to create a new component called button, then .jsx, and then you can do rfce inside here, and then inside this button component you're going to declare our button. So first we can, inside this we can declare what we want. First, our icon can have our button can have an icon URL. It can also have a background color, because there will be buttons with background color and others without. So let's do background color, and then we're going to have also a text color, and then we can do border color, and then the last thing is full width. And also before this icon we can add a label which will be the title of the button. So we have those, and then now inside this, let's see, inside this return is where we're going to add our button. So I'm going to remove this first, and then I'm going to add this, and then I'm just going to do a basic button, and then inside this button I'm going to do a class name, and then inside this class name we want to do flex, and then justify to be center, and then item center, and then we can do a gap of 2, a padding x of 7, and then we can do a border on the button. We can do a font, this font, and then we can also add a text font size which will be large, and then we can do a leading of none on the button. And then now here below these stylings we want to check if our button has a background color. So we're going to add this and then check the background color. So if it has a background color, we are going to do background color, and then we are going also to do a text color, and then we're also going to do a border color like this, border color. Then let me see, where have I, oh, I'm supposed to close this text color like that. And then below this we want to check if it doesn't have those, we are going to do a bg coral of blue, and then you can do text white, and then you can also do a border of the same color, border this one. And then after these stylings for the button, we can also add others which the button will be rounded full, and then we can also say the full width, and want it to be width of full, like that. And then now inside this button we want now to declare our label, which will be label here, the text of the button, and then we can do an icon URL, and we are going to check if we have an icon URL on the button, which we can do this image, let's see, img, and then first close that. And then the source will be icon URL, the icon URL, and then we can do an alt of, let's say, icon, and then you can do class name here, and the class names will be margin left of 2, rounded full, and then you can do a width of 5 and height of 5 for the icon. So by doing that, we now have the button which will now help us to create the hero page. So what we are going to do next is we are going to come to the hero, and then we can first import the button here. So import button, let me see, so we're going to import button from components, and then button, like that. And here now you're going to start creating the hero page. So let me remove this and add this, and inside here we want to have a section. In this section we'll give it an ID of home, so that every time the user clicks this home, it takes them to the home page. So I'm going to give it an ID of home, and then we can also add class names. So I'm going to start with a class name of width to be full, and then we can do flex, and then in extra large we want it to be flex row, and then we can do flex column if it's in medium devices, in mobile devices, and then justify to be center, and then a minimum height of screen, want it to take the whole screen, a minimum height of screen, like that. And then we can do a gap of 10, and then we can give it our max container, like that. And then now inside this section we want to have a div, and this div is going to be relative, so let's do relative. And then we can also add other classes, where in extra large devices we want it to take a width of 2 to 5 of the screen, and then you can do flex, and then flex column, justify center, justify to be center, and then we can also do items start, and then a width of full, and then maximum. In extra large devices we want to have a padding of x, padding of x, and then you want to have a general padding top of 28, like that. So now you can see that actually you don't have the text, but if I come here and do hero, let's see hero, you can see it's taking the whole height of the screen. So let me remove this text, and now inside this div I want to add a p tag, and this p tag is going to have a all weather collection. So let me first write it here, so it's all weather collection, like that. We have that text here, and now we can add the class names. So let me add the class names. Class name, we want this to have a text of Excel, so text Excel, and then a font, going to use Montserrat for this, and then we can also do a color of blue, so it's going to be coral blue, and then we can do I think that one is better, yeah. And now below this p tag we want to have a h1, and this h1 is going to have a margin top of 10 to separate it from the all weather collections, and then we want to give it this font, and then a text of 8XL, like that, and then a max SM, we want to have a text of 72 pixels, like that. And then we want also in SM we want to have a leading of 82 pixels, so make sure you add them inside these brackets. And then we can do a font of bold, like that. Then inside here we want to have, you can see that the text from the main website has this blue text here, and then we have this black text. So to do that you're going to add a span here. So first we can do a span, and then we want this to have an extra large of bg of white. Actually let me first remove this and then do span. Before we can do the bg, we can do relative. So let's say relative, and then we can now add the extra large. We want to have a bg of white. This is because, as you can see here in extra large devices, we have a background of white below this text. So let's now add the other styles, which will be in extra large devices. Also, we want to have a white space of no wrap, and then we can do in large devices we want to have an index of 10, and then we can do a padding right of 10, so that the index will put the text on top of the image. And then now here we can do the most latest, and then after this the most latest, you can see we have this big text here. We can add a break after this span, and then below here we can add another span, which will be text coral, then blue, like that. And then inside here we can do Nike, and then let's add some classes. We want it to be inline block, and then a margin top of 3, like that. And after this Nike, we can add a text which says shoes, like that. And now you can see we have our big text here. So the next thing to add down here is the p tag, for this explore, that one. So here let's add a p tag, and then this is going to have a text slate, let's say gray, like that. And then inside here we can also add a font. Let's do this font, and then we can do a font size of large, and then we can do a leading of 8, a margin top of 6, and then a margin bottom of 14. Also add maximum width of large to prevent the text from taking the whole width of the screen. So let me copy this text here, let me copy and then come and paste it here, like that. If I come back here, you can see now we have the text appearing there. So now what you're going to do next is to add the button which says shop now. So below here we can add our button, and then this button is going to be self-closing. So it's going to be self-closing for this button, and then this button is going to have an icon, and this icon you're going to get it from the assets, which will be icons, the arrow, right? So here we are going to have a label first, and the label is going to say shop now. So let's add the label. So it's going to be label and then shop now, and then we can also add an icon. So let's do an icon URL is equals to, and then arrow right, like that. And now here this one is supposed to be a string, so let me just add it inside this, like that. It should fix the error. So we have the button there. Let me refresh. Now we have this button here. So now the next thing is to add the statistics. So first we are going to import the statistics from the constant index page. So let's come here and import our statistics, which the statistics are this. So now we can map our statistics. So we're going to scroll down, and below the button, let's do this. We can add a div, and this div is going to be flex, like that. And then inside this div we can do justify start, and then you can also do item start, items start, flex wrap, width of full, margin top of 20, and then a gap of 16 to separate the statistics from each other. And now here we can start mapping our statistics. We can do statistics and then dot map. Then we can do item inside here, and also an index. Then here we can do a function, and then inside here we are going to have a div. And this div is going to be have a key, going to be index, and then now we can add a p, and it's going to be text for Excel, and then we can add a font of bold, and then you can do this font here. Actually it's not this one, you can do font and you can use this one, and then inside here we can do the item dot value like that, and it's supposed to appear. You can see we have that text there, and then now below here we can add the p tag and then give it a leading of 7 like that, and then a font. Obvious, we can do, it's not a must to give them fonts the same font I'm using, you can use your own. Then you can give the text a color, and then inside here you want to do the label, the name of the statistic, so it's going to be item dot label like that. So if I maximize this, you can see that we are halfway creating our this hero section. So what now we are going to create is the part for the images. So now here is going to be here, and then 2 divs down, so it's supposed to be here. We are going to add a div, and this div is going to be relative, so let's do a relative div, and then let me scroll down up to there. Yeah, and then you can also add other classes here, so flex one, and then flex justify center, item center, and then in Excel we want it to be a minimum height of screen, then max, and then Excel we want to do a padding y of 40, abg gradient. We are not going to use a color, so we are going to use a gradient, so let's do bg gradient to bottom, and then we want it to be from blue 200 to slate, not to slate but to teal. We can do to teal 50, and let me maximize. We have that color there, you can use any color you want, so for us we can do that blue. And then inside this div we want to have the image, and the image, as you can see in the main application, we have a big shoe on top of it. We have this big shoe, and then we have the other shoes, so let's add the big shoe here. But first we are supposed to define the big shoe before adding it. So on top of here we are going to first import the big shoe, and the big shoe is going to come from the assets images, so let's import it. And then now here we can define the big shoe, so this one we're going to say const, and then the big shoe, and then here we can say set big shoe, is going to use state. It's going to use state like that. Make sure you import it from React, and then the use state is going to be the image for the shoe like that. And then now here below here we can come and do our big shoe there like that. And then if I scroll down, you can see we have the actual image for the shoe, and then here we can do an alt of shoe, then add some class name for this image. We can do a width of 610, and then we can do a height of 500, and then we can do a class name. This class name is going to be object, then contain, and then we can also add a relative, and then an index of 10. So let's see if I maximize this, we scroll up, we have this shoe here. Now what you're going to add next is the shoe card, for the other shoes. Actually below this big shoe image, you're supposed to create a div which will hold the card. So first we can do a flex, and then not there but below here we can do a flex div, And then inside this flex div we can do a gap in small devices, which is going to be a gap of 6, and then you can do absolute, can do minus bottom of 5%, like that, so that it is somehow down from the main image. And then we want to do in small devices, we want to have a left of 10%, so it's going to be a left of 10%, like that. And then you can also add a maximum small devices, you can do a padding x of 6, like that. Now inside this div we want to have our shoe card component, so we are going to do a shoe card here. So let's do shoe card, then like that. You're going to complain because you haven't created this shoe card yet, so you're going to open your components and then create a new component, which is going to be shoe card.jsx, and then do refce, and then come back to the hero section and then scroll down, then try importing the shoe card, like that. The error is supposed to go away because now we have imported it, and then you can see we have this shoe card down here. So let me minimize this and then actually come back. We have given the flex small gap of 6 and then a gap of 4, supposed to give a gap of 4 here, and then you can do absolute. Yeah, that one is better. So let me see, you have that shoe card there, this shoe card. So now we add data to the shoe card. So come back to the shoe card and then we can do the same here, remove this, and then inside here we want first to check what our shoe card will have. Our shoe card will have one image, so inside here we can add the image, so it's going to be image URL, and then it's also going to change big shoe, like that. We can change the big shoe and then we can do the big shoe, like that. And now we want to first add a handle click which will change the images once clicked. So let's do const and then handle click, can do handle click, like that, and then it's going to be a function. So inside here we want to check if the big shoe is not equal to the img URL dot big shoe. We want to change the big shoe, so let's do this. Let's change big shoe. Let's change big shoe, and then we want to do img URL dot big shoe, like that. Now inside this return statement we can add a div, and this div is going to have a class name, so let's do that. Then this class name can do a literal string, then border of 2, and then rounded XL because the cards are going to be rounded. And then below here we want to check the big shoe, so let's do this big shoe, then you can do is equals to img URL dot big shoe. If it's that, we want to do this, we want to give it a border color, so let's do border, then our color of blue, and then we can do this instead. So if it ain't, let's do a border of transparent, so let's do border transparent, like that. Shift Alt F to format, and then after this you can add other classes which will be cursor to be pointer, and then we want to add a flex one here, like that. So inside this button we're also going to do an on click which will handle the click, like that. And then now inside here we can now do the card. So inside this div we're going to create another div which is going to be flex, and then we want to do justify center. The items will be center, the BG we want it to be gradient, but you can replace this with your own images, so it can be BG gradient to bottom, and then I want to be from red 100 to teal 100 to teal 100, like that. And then I think in small devices we can add a height of 40, and then you can do rounded, like that. And then inside this div we are going to do the img, which will, the source is going to be the img url, and then dot thumbnail. I created these thumbnails from images, and then we want to do an alt of shoe, and then we can do a width of 127, a width of 127, and then a height of 103. Then you can do an object contain. First you do fill, then class name of object to be contain. But you can see that the app is complaining because we haven't yet defined what the shoe card is receiving. So we are going to come back to the hero section, and inside this hero section, this shoe card, we can add an index. So the index is going to be the index, and then the img url is going to be image, and then we want to change the big shoe is going to be shoe. This is the handle click. We want it to set big shoe image, set big shoe to the shoe, and then let's see, we're getting errors. Let's first add big shoe down here, then big shoe is going to be the big shoe, like that. So we are getting errors here. It's because I've added extra presses. Let me remove one of them so you can see now it's supposed to work. Let's refresh, and then let me see, inspect console, then it's saying index is not defined in the hero section, but actually there's something we didn't do. Sorry for that. We didn't map we are supposed to map, and I think I forgot to do that. So here we want to first remove this, and then we are going to also import the shoes. So first, let me just return it here, and then I can comment it first, and then we can map the shoes from the constant. We already had the shoes, which are these shoes that are changing down here. So let's first import the shoes, like that, and then come below here, and then we want to do a div, not actually a div, but to map our shoes. So let's do shoes dot map, and then we want to map, can do the image here, and then you can also do an index, like that, and then we can do a div, and this div is going to be, it's not going to have a class name, but instead it's going to have a key. This key is going to be index, and then here I was using this, which one, this one's index. So let me scroll down, and then let me copy this here, and then come and paste them inside here, and then I can select them and then uncomment them, like that. So if I now extend this, you can see we have these images down here, and if let's check if it works. So if I click the image, you can see it's changing the actual image for the big shoe up here, like that. So we have finished creating the hero section, the next thing to do is to create the popular product section, which is this section. So let's do that. We're going to come to our, let's close this, then you're going to come to our popular products. Let's scroll down to where the popular products is, inside this one. So let's scroll down, popular products, and then inside here we want to do a div. So let's remove this, not a div, but we can do a div or a section, there's no problem. So let's first do a div, and this div is going to have our max container class name. So let's do max container like that, and then here we can do a maximum small of margin top of 12, and then we can also do an ID, and this ID is going to be product. So let's do products, and then inside this div we can do a flex div, and then flex column, and then we can also do justify start, and give a gap for the cards, and the gap is going to be 5. And then now inside here we can do a h2, and this h2 is going to have a class name, and this class name is going to be text. For Excel, we're giving it a font size, and then you can do this font, and then you can also do, let's see, we have this text here, and now here we are also going to do the same. We're going to create 2 spans. So we're going to create a span for this. The span is going to be for this product. So let's first copy this and then come and paste here, and then we can do a span, and the text is going to be the blue color like that, and then inside here we can do the products. So let's do products, our popular products, but we can also add some classes for this text blue, which is going to be, I think we can do font medium to make it like that. Let's come back, and you can see now we have the title. Below this title we are going to do a p tag, and this p tag is going to have a margin top of 2. So let's do margin top of 2, a font of Montserrat, and then in large devices we want it to have a maximum width of large to avoid it taking the whole width of the screen, and then we want to give it a color, text slate, and then we can do this gray color, and then that's it. So here we can add the actual text, and it's this one, explore. All these texts were generated by ChatGPT. You can also do the same. So let's come back here, and now you can see we have this text. Now below this p tag and below this div is where we are going to map our cards. So below here we are going to do a div, and it's going to have a margin top of 16, and it's going to be grid. In large devices the grid columns will be 4, so it's going to be grid calls 4. Let's do 4 here, and then in medium we want the grid columns to be 3, and then now in small devices we want to do grid columns of 2, grid column of 2, columns of 2, and then we can do grid columns of 2, and then we want to do a small gap of 4, and now we can do a general gap of 4. Actually I don't think that changes anything. Anyway, now inside here we're going to map our products, and these products are going to come from the constant. We had the constant, the products defined in the constant. So I'm going to first copy this here. This is the products from the constant. You can see I have the it has the img, it has the name, and it has the price. So the price is in shillings. I'm from Kenya, so that's why the prices are in shillings, but you can use your own currency, you can use USD, so there's no problem. So inside here I want to map these products, and then you're going to do map, you're going to map a product. So it's going to be product, then inside here we are going now to have a popular products card. So let me just do this. So it's going to be popular, then popular product card, like that. So we don't have this card yet, we are going to create it. So come to the components and create a popular product card. So let's do this, popular product card, and then .jsx, do RAFCE, then come back here to fix the error and import this, like that. Make sure you import that. And if I scroll down, you can see we have a popular product card here. We have 4 of them, and the more I change the screen resolution, you can see the cards are increasing. The grid columns are becoming 4, and actually I should do an XL here because I'm in an extra large screen. We can do XL. We want to do grid columns to be 5, like that. So come back to the popular products card, and inside this product card we are going to first remove this and do this. And inside here we are going to have a flex div, justify center, item center, and then flex one, we can do flex column, and then a width of full. Then you can also do a SM of width of full, like that. Inside this div we're going to have another div which is going to be the background for the image. It's going to be bg, and then gradient. It will be go to left, like that. And this is going to be from till 100 to slate 300 to slate 300, like that. And then we can also do around it. This is the background color. And then now inside this div we are going to have an img, and this img is going to have a source of the img url. So let's do img url, like that. You can say it's an image here. Then I'm getting an error, we will fix that. And then alt is going to be image, and then we can do a class name. We want the class name to be a width of 280 pixels, so make sure you put them in these brackets. So it's going to be 280 pixels, and then we want a height of the same, is going to be 280 pixels, like that. And then you can do an object contain, and also we do a fill here, like that. And then below this div we're going to have another div of margin top of 8. So let's do margin top of 8, and also flex column, and then justify start, and then a gap of, we can do gap of 2.5, or we can just do gap of any according to what you want. So you can also add another div here of flex, and then you can do item center, gap of 2, like that. And here we are going to have an img, and this img is going to have a source of star, and this star is coming from the icons. So we are going to import it first. Let's do a width, and this star is for the rating. So it's going to be width of 24, and then a height of 24. So let's import the star. The star is coming from the assets icons, so make sure you import it from the assets icons. So let's paste it here, like that. And then below this image we want to have a p tag for the rating. So we want to do a flex, not a flex, but the font size, which is going to be text XL, and then add a font. Then you can do a leading of normal, and then you can do text to be slate gray, like that. And then inside this we can do the rating. The rating we can say it's 4.5. and then below this p tag, this div for the image, we're going to add a h3, which is going to take the name of the product. We can do a class name, and this class name is going to be margin top of 1, a text to excel, a leading of normal, a leading of normal, a font of semi-bold. So let's do a font of semi-bold, like that. And then we can also add a font to the name. So inside here we are going to do name, and below this h3 we can do a p tag. This p tag is going to be to have the price, but we are supposed to actually define this in the inside here. So let's first add class names for this. So let's do class name, and then the margin top will be 1. Can also do a font of semi-bold, and then you can do the font, a text color, which is going to be coral blue, and then you can also do the font size, which is going to be 2XL. Also add a leading of normal to give it a normal line height, like that. And inside here we are going now to define the img URL, the name and the price. So let's do that. So inside here we can add the img URL. So it's going to be img URL and then the name and then the price, like that. And then if I scroll down, we have these cards for the image. We have these cards. So let me see, did I do a gap for them? Yeah, I added a gap. Let me scroll up. We have these 5 cards. Let's come back to the popular products. So let's come here, and then inside this popular products we're going to say the key is going to be the product.name. So let's do product.name. Then you can spread the product here. You can spread the products like that. So I don't know why I'm not getting the images. This is img URL, the name, the price. I think let me first change the alt. We want the alt to, if there is no image, let's do the image name. And then in my constants, I think this one is capital. Let's do img URL, and then also change it up here. So let's do this and see if it will fix the issue. If I scroll down, you can see now I have cards for the shoes actually, and they look good. You can add more shoes or you can add more cards. So to make this one look better, because I don't have a lot of shoes, I can come and remove the Excel grid columns of 5, like that, and it's supposed to change that. That one looks better. So we have created the hero section and the popular products. So we are going to create this, the next 4 parts.